Alright, what's up y'all? Profitz here, back with another video, and today we're doing a little trade review. And I want to start doing this a little bit more now that I've switched over to futures from Forex. As you guys know, I've mentioned in my previous videos, I'm trading on lower time frames now that I'm trading on futures. So not swing trading really anymore, unless it's on my personal Forex account. But futures wise, I want to go over some things I've been learning and a trade that I took last night during Asia session. A banger trade, a pretty easy read in my opinion. But not sure how well versed you guys are in futures yourself. I'd love to know in the comments below if you guys are like, have you been trading futures for a long time? Are you just now trying to get into it? Are you switching over as well from Forex to futures? Or maybe you just started in futures and you're trying to get better at it, you're not seeing consistent profits yet. I would still say in the earlier stages of learning futures, although I already know how to trade from Forex, right? This is just a different instrument in order to trade and place trades. So it's just a little bit different, learning everything, contracts, all that. It's different than Forex, as you guys know. But let's go ahead and get into this little trade review. This won't be a long video or anything, but I wanted to get out this trade review either way. So as you can see here, this was an Asia session like I mentioned, and we had a nice downturn right here. And I was looking at liquidity levels down below. I have some levels that show here. As you can see, this is the previous day, or this is the New York lunch low, and then we had New York PM low. So it's starting to take out these lows, right? And this is really what you're looking for when you're trading. You're looking for some kind of area of liquidity, whether you're looking for buys or sells. You want to look where liquidity is lying, and that's going to be below or above session lows and highs. So a good indicator to have is like any indicator that has the sessions on it. I just have this one. This is the ICT kill zone session, so it just shows, or indicator I mean, so it just shows like every session there is. So as you can see here, we were trading Asia session and it popped up Asia, and then it's gonna have the Asian high and Asian low as the session progresses. But that's always something good to look out for in order to find those draw zones or liquidity zones, right? So liquidity looked like had just gotten swept here after this low, but one thing that I don't really like to count as a full sweep is when it just, you notice price just wicked below right here. Price did not close a candle below that low. So if I even do like a ray here so you guys can see the low I'm looking at is right here, price only wicked into it and then immediately rejected out of it. It did not give a full closure below, and that makes me feel like this wasn't a true liquidity sweep. It was kind of like a fraudulent liquidity sweep, right? So do I trust that this is just going to buy up from here and just buy blindly? No, absolutely not. And this is something that takes some patience and just time on the charts to see these things play out over and over and over again in order to be able to trust things like this. But once I saw the market pushing up here out of this liquidity, which I don't think it actually swept like I mentioned, I think this is a fraudulent sweep. I immediately started drawing up some zones. So what did I draw up? I immediately started drawing up, I saw a supply zone right here. You guys know I'm a big fan of supply and demand. It's been a part of my strategy no matter if I'm swing trading, scalping, intraday trading, whatever I'm doing. I always like to know where supply and demand is lying. That is kind of how my first strategy was. My first successful strategy starting out trading was supply and demand. So I drew up this supply zone here, and this is on the 1 minute time frame. I'm mainly trading on the 1 minute time frame. I also look at the 15 and 5 minute time frames, right? But let's go ahead and continue playing this bar replay and show you guys where these fair value gaps are lying. So as you can see here, boom, we launched up into that supply zone and we created a gap right here. This is a 1 minute fair value gap, right? And I make these green because I make them green if they're bullish fair value gap, and bearish fair value gaps are red. And the indicator I used that's indicating that makes these show up live, like you just saw these green fair value gaps pop up, is the Lux Algo fair value gap. So if I take that off, you guys can't see them. Boom, if I put them back on, you can see this fair value gaps here. But I'm immediately marking that fair value gap because if price starts to blast through this fair value gap, I will be looking for sells down to the liquidity where I want price to head. So let's go ahead and keep playing here. Price kind of dances around here for a little bit. As you can see right here, we wicked into this fair value gap, but we did not break through it. So it's still just a fair value gap. It did not inverse yet, or IFVG, inverse fair value gap. It did not inverse it yet, so there's no entry for me yet. But price continues to play around here. We start to see some bearish momentum, and boom, with speed, it broke through that fair value gap, turning it into an IFVG, an inverse fair value gap. So we broke down to it. We actually even came up and tapped back into it again, but I got into it right as it broke. So right here, boom, I'm in this trade, right? And this is looking like a 31 point stop above these relative highs right here. And then I'm looking for about a 60 to 62 point, trade, take profit for around a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, which is usually what I aim for. And price messes around here. As you can see, it even went back up into my drawdown a little bit, but I did not freak out. I stayed in the trade. So we're continuing in this trade. And then boom, massive candle in profit. The next candle, boom, just smashes my TP. So that was a really good trade. A1 little read there. I was actually looking at some trades up here, like this one here, that I just did not get because it went too fast, and I missed the entry right here. I wanted to take a trade that looked something like that right as it broke here, but this candle just boom, it just dropped. So I completely missed this whole first initial drop during Asia session, which was unfortunate, but I stayed patient and I just waited for price to come back up into an area, and it still hadn't had a full sweep down here, so it made sense for me to continue looking for sells. So we just came back up into a supply zone. 1 minute fair value gap turned IFEG, it inverses, boom, I front run it, I get in the trade here, bam, and the rest is history. A nice 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, and that banks me about 1400 on my evaluation with Lucid Trading. So that was a really nice trade there, and I just wanted to give you a little small breakdown of why I took it and kind of what I was seeing. So hopefully that made sense to you guys. If you guys have any questions or have any advice, if you're having trouble seeing these plays in the market, I'm definitely no expert in futures yet. I'm still learning, getting used to trading on these lower time frames. Things happen and develop very quickly, so you have to be like on your toes. You have to be ready to pull the trigger and ready to identify these setups in live time, because they develop in a matter of minutes, and then boom, your TP can happen in 1 or 2 minutes. Like, it's super quick. So you can't, I've literally rushed to the restroom and I've missed trades that, hit my TP because I was previously used to swing trading. So you have so much time to wait for the good entry. Hours, literally, you might have hours or days even to wait for your entry. So definitely a little bit different here with futures and trading on the smaller time frames. And I only have a smaller trading window to trade with my current job. So I'm mostly just trading Asia session, maybe trading New York here and there if I am able to. But yep, that was the trade. A nice 62 point run on NQ sells, and again, I took that on my eval, so pretty good. I'm looking forward to getting funded with futures and seeing where this takes me. I'm very excited on it. So would love for you to subscribe, like the video if you guys enjoyed this content. If you got anything beneficial out of it, I would love to know in the comments below, and I really appreciate you guys watching. Stick around, subscribe for future content like this if you guys do enjoy it. And yeah, appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are trading safe out there, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.